he was captured and was being adjudicated in Honduras when his gang very violently got into basically a shootout with the police.
Jason Derek Brown. On November 29, 2004, an armored car guard named Robert Keith Palomares was approached by a hooded Jason Derek Brown. Palomares, who was in possession of the weekend deposit, was just outside an AMC theater in Phoenix, Arizona. When Brown shot him repeatedly, the latter then fled with $56,000 in cash and sped away from the scene on a bicycle. This bicycle was later found and lifted for prints, officially connecting Brown to the shooting. The FBI chased and nearly apprehended Brown, but were unsuccessful.
I believe he's out of the United States. I believe he's living a false life.
His last known whereabouts were in Portland, Oregon. In 2007, Brown was placed on the 10 most wanted list, but was removed in 2022, despite never having been found.
There was not one single corroborated sighting out of the tens of thousands of tips we received.
Ruja Ignatova. You may know Ruja Ignatova as the missing crypto queen, as she was the subject of a popular BBC podcast of the same name. Ignatova was the founder of OneCoin, a highly fraudulent Ponzi scheme involving cryptocurrency. It's believed that OneCoin stole something like $4 billion since it launched in 2014.
It was going to be like Bitcoin, bigger than Bitcoin, more accessible than Bitcoin.
While most of its leaders have been apprehended, Ignatova has escaped justice.
OneCoin is easy to use. OneCoin is for everyone. Make payments everywhere.
She was informed of increased police arrest in 2017 and promptly disappeared. 2 years later, she was charged in absentia with various forms of fraud. Ignatova was placed on the 10 most wanted list in June 2022. Bradford Bishop. As of August 1st, 2022, Bradford Bishop would be 86 years old and an American fugitive for 46 years. Bishop was an officer of the United States Foreign Service at the time that he would have killed his family. The deceased include his mother, his wife, and his 3 sons.
He told anybody where they were going, and people missed them.
Evidence led authorities to believe that Bishop took their lives, then disposed of the bodies in swampland before disappearing into the Appalachian Trail. He has never been captured, but various alleged sightings have been reported throughout the years.
One of the rangers noticed the car, and he thought that maybe it was a backpacker. They run the plate, and turned out that guy was wanted by the FBI.
The most recent occurred in 1994 when an old neighbor was said to have seen Bishop while vacationing in Switzerland. While authorities believed Bishop was lying low in the United States for a long time, it's unknown if he's still alive today. Hassan Izz-Al-Din. Born in Lebanon, Hassan Izz-Al-Din is, or at least was, a member of the Islamist militant group Hezbollah. On June 14, 1985, Trans World Airlines Flight 847, which was traveling from Egypt to San Diego, was hijacked, ostensibly by members of Hezbollah.
The situation is desperate. We are almost out of fuel. I implore you, sir, to cooperate and allow for we crash.
Hassan Izz-Al-Din was alleged to be one of the perpetrators, and he was placed on the original top 22 most wanted terrorist list, which was released by George W. Bush shortly after the 9/11 tragedy. Despite this, Izz-Al-Din remains free. He would be around 60 years old as of the time of writing. Simeon Mich. The FBI has described Simeon Mich as the most powerful and dangerous gangster in the world. It's believed that Mich is the capo, or the boss of bosses, of the Russian mafia, which has an estimated 250,000 members in over 50 countries. Mich is wanted on a wide variety of charges, including trafficking, homicide, and money laundering. He was added to the top 10 fugitive list in 2009, but removed in 2015. On the word of the FBI, Mich currently lives in Moscow and enjoys freedom thanks to his close relationship with powerful Russian authorities. Purportedly, Mich has allied with the likes of Vladimir Putin, previous Moscow mayor Yuri Luskov, and former acting president of Ukraine Oleksandr Turchnev. The Khobar Towers perpetrators. On the night of June 25, 1996, Khobar Towers in Khobar, Saudi Arabia, was targeted by a truck bomb. According to the official statement put out by the U.S., those responsible belonged to Hezbollah al-Hijaz, a terrorist organization that hoped to overthrow the Saudi government. At the time, Khobar Towers was housing many members of the American military. 19 Air Force personnel were killed in the attack, and a further 498 people were injured. 15 terrorists were charged by the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Virginia in June of 2001. Saudi Arabia soon claimed that 11 were in custody but refused to have them extradited. At least 4 men are still wanted by the American government. Victor Manuel G. This man is responsible for what was once the largest cash heist in American history.
Investigators soon discovered that the daring theft was far more than a one-man operation. It had been masterminded by a Puerto Rican terrorist group that counted Victor Herrera among its members.
Victor Manuel Garena was part of the Boricua Popular Army, a violent rebellion group with the goal of securing Puerto Rican independence. On September 12, 1983, Garena and other members of the Boricua Popular Army enacted White Eagle, the name given to a robbery of a Wells Fargo depot.
I'll kill you. I swear to God, I'll kill you. What are you doing? Shut up! Stand up!
The criminals walked away with the modern equivalent of $19 million. Most of the suspects were caught and arrested, but the FBI is still looking for Garena. He was a top 10 fugitive from 1984 to 2016, which is the record for longest time spent on the list. Ulan Adonai Archaga Carillas. A somewhat recent addition to the 10 most wanted fugitives list, Ulan Adonai Archaga Carillas is a drug lord operating out of Honduras. The assumed leader in MS-13, a criminal gang that is estimated to be composed of up to 70,000 people worldwide, Carillas is wanted on several charges related to organized crime. He was actually arrested back in 2015 and remained in police custody until February 13, 2020. That day, he was being transported from prison to the local courthouse in El Progreso for a hearing when armed MS-13 members broke him out.
He was captured and was being adjudicated in Honduras when his gang very violently got into basically a shootout with the police.
Carillas has not been heard from since.
Being on the top 10 list, that's usually reserved for the Osama bin Laden.
Alexis Flores. Born in Honduras, Alexis Flores came to America and experienced homelessness. He was hired by a Philadelphia man named Jorge Contreras in the year 2000, who employed Flores as a general handyman. A heinous crime involving a minor was committed shortly after, and much of the evidence implicated Flores, who was using the pseudonym Carlo or Carlos at the time. In 2007, it was confirmed that Flores and his pseudonym were one and the same, and he was, in fact, responsible for the atrocity. A federal arrest warrant was issued, but it has come to no good. Flores remains at large and a top 10 most wanted fugitive. Abdul Rahman Yasin. It was just after noon on February 26, 1993, when a van exploded below the North Tower of the World Trade Center. The attack didn't work as the terrorists intended, but was still devastating, killing 6 and injuring over 1,000. The main perpetrator was a man named Ramzi Youssef, who recruited Abdul Rahman Yasin to build the explosives. Yasin was purportedly picked up by the FBI and granted freedom in exchange for key information. He fled to Iraq, where he ended up imprisoned. Documents were, however, recovered following America's invasion of the country, which revealed that the Iraqi government under Saddam Hussein was housing and paying Yasin. He officially remains on the FBI's most wanted terrorist list and is considered at large. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.